What's going on to all of my Capricorns? How are you doing? So let's get into it. All right, so for you Capricorns, you have the Magician. Let me scroll. Let me move this down some. The Magician, the Seven of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, Three of Cups, the High Priestess, the Sun, the Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and last but not least, the World. So, which is Capricorn. So you pulled through at the last second, right? So what I'm seeing here for you Capricorns is that I'm seeing how a lot of you Capricorns, you have the Magician, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. So this is about how a lot of you need to be, a lot of you Capricorns, you need to have some more, I ain't even gonna say that you need to have more self-respect. You already do have self-respect, but I mean, like, you need to, you know, like, not let people even get to you in the first place. Because the Seven of Pentacles is very much so about a person that likes to cherry pick one attribute about a person, but doesn't necessarily like another attribute about a person. And then the attributes that they don't like about a person, they basically judge the entire person like that. So you have some people who, you know, from the past would judge you entirely based upon just the very few things about you that they don't necessarily like. And now they want to go ahead and, you know, go ahead and judge the whole thing and stuff like this. But the Five of Pentacles is that maybe this is new. Maybe this is recent, actually, you know, because, you know, I don't really, when it comes to the cards, I don't really actually see real distant past unless it's relative, unless it's relevant. You know what I mean? Unless it's relevant where it's actually going to matter, the cards won't pick it up. I won't see it, right? Otherwise, what's the point? So what I'm seeing here is that more than likely this is the not so distant past, or a situation that pretty much not so distant past. You know, you're not even going, you may be going through this currently, right? Or I should say in a transitory state, or this is the not so distant past where that's already happened. You know what I mean? And the thing is that the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Cups is about how the Nine of Pentacles is very much so about how you have to learn to not let other people bother you. Because if you do, people are going to feel good about themselves, right? And they're going to find a way to bother you even more. Because for some odd reason, people are more catered towards getting attention and running a script than they are getting to the mandatory and handling their business, you know? So in other words, what I'm saying is that people nowadays, this is why it is that Venus is really caught out there, because Venus, you would think that Venus represents love and stuff like this, but people are more caught up with the fame and trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be rich, trying to stunt to other people like they're rich. And as a result of this, this is what's really getting a lot of people caught up. And you would think that they would be more geared towards love, because that's what it is that a lot of people say, that that's what it is that they want. But essentially, you have a whole lot of people who really ultimately, regardless of whether they're lying in a moment or they're telling the truth in a moment, they ultimately end up turning out to be liars. Because what it is that they practice in, what they do, the action that they take is not what it is that what they preached, what they said. So the High Priestess, the Sun, right? The High Priestess, the Sun, and the World, the Knight of Swords, right? The High Priestess is very much so about a person who can't necessarily really seem to let you, Capricorns, go now that you're not in their life, they're thinking about you quite a lot. And that's, unfortunately, that's how a lot of the dating pool is. And this is why it is that I say that people who talk to you about dating in the sense of game, and when I say game, I mean learning all these tricks and antics and all this other type of stuff. Factually, it's already been debunked. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a video in the comment section that actually shows and proves what it is I'm talking about having game. And what I mean when I say game, I mean having game from the perspective of what a lot of these dating coaches would talk about. You need to do this and you need to do that. All of that stuff's been debunked. All of it is debunked. And this is why it is that I say that ultimately all of this stuff is useless, because, right, now the stuff that I teach over here is not useless, but I mean, ultimately the stuff that the dating coaches in particular are useless, because at the end of the day, these people will have you laced up telling you about how you need a car and how you need to look like this and how you need to do this and all this other stuff, when all of that stuff is a lie. All of that stuff is manipulation. All of that stuff is a tactic. And the reason why I'm saying that is it's already been debunked in the video. In essence, when it comes to dating in the modern day era, people don't date for love most of the times. People who are playing games date for excitement and attention. So that's why it is that I'm trying to tell y'all that having game and learning, that's what game is. Game is essentially a person who would otherwise be seen as boring, learning ways on how to excite a person. But here's why it is that I say that game is trash, right? That, the pickup artists in the modern day gamist, or whatever it is that they call themselves, is essentially trash. It's trash because at the end of the day, why is it that some people need game and some people do not, and they don't do anything, and people want to be around them and all this other type of stuff? It's because what we're missing to understand is, and everybody keeps acting like they don't, everybody keeps ignoring it. So I'm going to bring it up, and a very few people are going to bring it up, is because game is useless. Like I said before, it all comes down to how are you going to change minds and hearts. It's useless. If you need game, it means that you would be curved. If you need money, it means that you would be curved. So what does that mean? So that means that the only people that don't need game are the people that these people would essentially ultimately, they don't care. It means that it's very few. And this is why it is that I tell you, Capricorns, don't worry about it, because now this person is thinking about you, worrying about you, thinking about what you've got going on, thinking about all of that type of stuff. But then you have the Sun, and then you have the Seven of Swords, and this is about how you need to understand that what you've got going on is for you to live your life, and don't worry about the dysfunctionalities of what these people try to make you believe. These people are dysfunctional. They're all over the place, right? Because there's different prices in the dating pool. There's different prices on the dating market. There's different prices. Why is it that one person needs game and all this other preparation and another person does not? It's because the person that doesn't need game, right? People will take care of them and let them get a free ride. You know what I mean? Let them get an almost free ride. And with some people, they need to do all of this and they need to do all of that because people are caught up with their ego. You think that you're better than this person, even though you're really not. And you're about to see how much you're not really better than this person. And the next thing you know, this is where the anger comes from. Oh, this, that, and the third. And it goes to show you what it is. And I don't want to use this reference, but it goes to show you, it goes to show you just how caught up the dating pool is, right? You know, it really goes to show you, I was about to say something else, but it goes to show you how caught up the dating pool is. The idea that you're in two situations. You're either going to work so that essentially you can take care of somebody. That's one option. Or essentially you need to learn game because the person has curved you. What type of a duplicitous system is that, where ultimately you don't really get what it is that you want either way? It's trash either way. Both of the choices are garbage. So what's the best way to date? I ain't gonna say the best way, but what's a very good way to date? In essence, a very good way to date is, the ideal would be both partners really getting themselves into a relationship, right? That want to be there, that put in effort. That's time, money, and effort. And that's really, and they actually evolve. That's what a real relationship is. All of these quote unquote gender roles and all that stuff, all of that stuff has been debunked. All of that stuff has already been proven to be trash. It's trash. It's trash. Because the Three of Pentacles in the world, right, represents how it is that a lot of you Capricorns now, you Capricorns are focusing on your health and your money, right? But the world represents how it is that, again, you got to see it from, I ain't gonna say you have to, but you should see it from this perspective. Because ultimately what it is I'm saying to you is true, right? And that's where the value is. If you're finding value in this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called a link tree. Click on it. It'll take you to a website in which it has my Instagram, in which you can follow me, the books that I have that are on Amazon, my clothing store, my what else? My email address, okay? Just in case if you don't want to pay me on my website, then you can always feel free to contact me at Kareemspiritworks at yahoo.com, so I can direct you on how we can work payment out. So that's the situation, you know? So let's clarify the world. This is why it is that I try to tell you that ultimately, what it is everybody's going to have to stop playing the games. Because the people who, see, this is what I've been telling you, because people who are in the game are people who essentially is out curving people and sizing people up and thinking that they're better than people, and that their ish don't stink. To be in a relationship with somebody, this is exactly why it is that I'm talking about the game here on my channel. It's for you to understand that people who are in the game are useless individuals. They're too far gone. They're too far gone. In order for you to be in a relationship, a person must not be in the game. This is what I'm saying, that a lot of people are acting like they're not listening to this. Because what's going on here is anyone who's in the game, this is what I'm trying to tell you, anyone who's in the game, by definition, to be in the game in the sense that they're out here running games with people, they are delusional. And they are, not only are they delusional, but they are people who are trashy individuals, no matter what they look like, no matter what they have. To be in the game means, by definition, you're a person that's overestimating your abilities and overestimating the type of person that you can get. That's what being in the game means. That's why they refer to playing with people's lives as a game, because they're from the jump, they're even letting you know the mental state of these people. They're dysfunctional, right? If you really want to build families and find love, you want to find someone who is not in the game, meaning that they're not into playing with people and thinking that, you know, it's funny to play with people, because they're not messed up like that. They They have faults and follies and flaws. They don't have red flags. You understand what I'm saying? So let's clarify some cards. Let's clarify the world. Game is useless. Game is useless. Anyone who's in, see, you have to, when you meet somebody, you have to size them up to see if they're in the game. If they're in the game, they're trash. Not because I say so, but like I said, the video that I'm going to post up underneath this video is going to show and prove that games and the game as we know it, the people who invest themselves or put themselves in the game, they're useless. They're too far gone. So the world, the Hanged Man, the Emperor, the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you, to clarify the world, the Hanged Man, the Emperor, right? These people are gonna, because people who are in the game will always blame somebody else when the games happen to them, because this is another thing. This is another reason why you shouldn't, you shouldn't worry, and why you shouldn't worry for the future. It's because people who run games and they think that they so fly, those are people who are very much so by themselves, and those are people who really don't live a real life that they really enjoy, truth be told, right? And the thing is that because they're so busy, blaming other people for their own dysfunction. The Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune is that where the games is and where it locks you into that wheel is by understanding that traditional relationships are a trap too. You should not want a traditional relationship. And I may end up making a video in the future about why traditional relationships are a trap too. Because both partners have to get involved. Both people have to get involved. If one partner's supposed to stay in the home and the other partner's supposed to go out and work, that's a trap too. The partner that goes out and work is still getting played for the partner that is staying at home, because cleaning up the home is not a harder job than going out and busting your bum, doing whatever it is that you got to do. It's still a con job. It's still a con game. It's still you being caught up. Because what is it? On one hand, you want someone, someone wants you to go out there, you get the money, and what do? After you done put yourself in that type of situation, you come home and you give some of it to the person that ain't doing anything as difficult as you. Whack. Then on top of that, what's the other option? You being treated a certain kind of way because what? Because you don't have a particular look, or because you don't have enough game, or because you don't have something extra special. What is the extra specialness? We may cover it later on, but that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June. We're definitely on the way. So smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos. Love y'all.